in Jamaica, wherever they are, our people literally take over. Okay, so our values are trustworthiness, worship, influence, responsibility, and love. Okay, and then we have a creed that says we belong to a tribe of saviors and we're trustworthy. Whatever goes out of us must pass the test of worship unto our God. We influence our world with superior lifestyle and solution everywhere we go, and we take responsibilities for what happens in us and around us. We love, and heaven is what you experience when you encounter us. We're saviors and we create solutions for our world. Okay, so last week, what did you discover? Mary Jane said, I discovered that I have some work to do on being a dispensable leader. Fantastic. Okay, so Mary Jane has responded. Who else was here last week? Where is Ajao Ayo? Where is where are all these people? If you have answered your question, please go and put your answer on the chat box. I don't just want here to talk about leadership, talk about what we're supposed to do, and you don't do it. Right. My job is to teach. Your job as a student is to, and fellow leaders, is to you respond to the questions and answer the questions, so that all of us can grow together. Right. During the week, I had to take some leadership trainings for a bank and another group like that. Right. And one of the things that I just did a definition of leadership. And one of the things, the feedback was like, oh, somebody said, this is a senior manager, said, I've gone for several meetings and I've never seen leadership being demystified like this. And, that made me very excited, to say that, yeah, it looks like we're doing a lot of things right. Okay. Where are my leaders in the house? Where are the influencers? No, my chat box is not buzzing. What's going on? Are we cold today? What is happening? Okay, I want to know your experience since we started the process. Okay, so today we are going to continue our leadership series on the leadership edge, the making of a dispensable leader. And today, last week, we began to look at some of the values, the traits of a dispensable leader. And we focused on the first one last week, which was personal discovery. And so today we're going to move on to the power of vision. Every leader, has got a vision. Every dispensable leader has got a vision. Now, so last week, if you remember, we defined leadership as the personhood of discovery, development, and deployment of personal powers in becoming a system that assists others replicate the same in making the world a better place. Leadership is the personhood of discovery, development, and deployment of personal powers in becoming a system that assists others replicate the same in making the world a better place. Okay, good. Cecilia says, I answered the questions and discovered the things I didn't know about myself. Thank you very much, Cecilia. Okay, I'm expecting about 49 other people to put their stuff there, so that nobody's hiding in this meeting. Now, leadership is a personhood. That was what we zoned in on 2 weeks ago. Personhood of discovery. And last week we focused on self-discovery, because until you self-discover yourself, you are likely going to be battling with low self-esteem and insecurity. And I must say that people think that it's very easy to overlook what your mentees and fellow leaders are doing. It almost means that you need to be dead to your flesh, right? For you to be able to watch others grow around you, right? My mentor was in town last week. After I finished the meeting, I went to meet him. And he was saying that, when he started releasing leaders, when he had raised them and he released them and he would tell people to follow them, he said it was crazy. And he said, in honest truth, it wasn't easy. That it looks like he was going to kill his own business or kill his own organization, but he realized that they grew afterwards. So I'm not going to say here to you that you are not going to feel somehow insecure sometimes, because other people that you have raised are growing. It's going to come back to you sometimes and make you feel, are you not giving everything away? Don't you hold them bound and profit from them? But your capacity to defeat that auto-suggestion for the good of all is why you are a leader. that we do things for people because they are human beings and because they deserve it, not because they are beneficial to us. That even when they hurt us, our response cannot be the energy of hate. Our response must be the energy of love. That we will still help them despite backstabbing us, simply because we are operating at a higher frequency by a higher law. And let me say this, that this is not about I am born again, or if you are not born. No. If you are a human being, you have the capacity to experience this, and you have the capacity to be an exceptional leader. I have had people say to me that, you know what, God cannot talk to someone who is a non-Christian. I do not agree. It's like saying that you have manufactured a house and you have all the keys to the house, and because the house does not recognize you, you cannot open the house. That's not totally true. God is the maker of everyone. If God is the maker of everyone, then God can have access to everyone. God is not incapacitated. He has not created a human being that he cannot reach. It's not possible. And he doesn't need permission or the barriers we have placed to reach them. So when we say some people are God's children, other people are not God's children, I don't know where God had a conversation with people to say that the people he created are not his children. I wouldn't know. So we need to understand that security is what makes a leader. Now, last week, we began to look at the 9 traits of dispensable leader, and we looked at personal discovery, ownership, and security last week. Today, we are going to move into the visionary trait of a leader. Next week, we'll do sacrifice and service. Then upper week, we'll do respect for others, right? My brother, Fisayo Okunsoya, is going to be around next week to do justice to service and sacrifice. You don't want to miss that session. Now, 9 portraits of a dispensable leader. So today, we are looking at the trait of being a visionary as a leader. And we're going to do a simple exercise. Wherever you are, I want you to find a comfortable position and sit down. Find a comfortable position and sit, okay? And just relax. If you are relaxed, I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath and breathe out. I want you to take another deep breath with your eyes closed. If you are driving, don't close your eyes, please, and breathe out. Now, I want you to imagine something you like that is within your house at the moment. Anything at all. I want you to imagine something that you like in your house. It could be your bed, it could be your books, it could be your shoe, it could be your glasses, something, anything at all. Just imagine something within your house or within where you are right now that you like. Now, I want you to imagine yourself in your mind, stretching your hand to hold that thing. So imagine in your mind, you are holding that thing. Now, I want you to imagine yourself standing from where you are. Just sit still, standing. Imagine that you are now standing, going to pick it wherever it is. Now, imagine that thing is in your hand right now. And as you are holding it, it's expanding so big. The thing just suddenly began to increase. Maybe it's your phone, it's increasing, or maybe it's a book, it's increasing. Whatever it is, that thing that you love, it could be your food, is increasing in size. And the thing is spreading across the whole world, that everyone is coming to ask you for that thing. That can you give it to us? Can we also have it? But this time around, you are putting a price on it. And you are telling everyone across the world that it's $100 to have a part of it or a size of it. Now, I want you to imagine everyone across the world coming towards you to buy that thing. that you are holding in your hand. And it's spreading all over the world such that you are becoming very, very wealthy. You are becoming so big. Others are coming to take it from you, and they are also reselling it, and they are also becoming very wealthy. All of a sudden, everyone supporting you to sell it, everyone has become wealthy. Now, I want you to open your eyes. Now, I want you to take a step wherever you are and go and pick whatever, that thing that you saw in your mind, that thing that you saw in your mind. I want you to stand up from where you are and go hold it in your hand. Okay, just hold it. Just go and pick it. Maybe that thing is what is going to make you a billionaire you didn't know. Right? Just go and hold it. And hold it in your hands. Okay, so if you have done that, can you type yes, 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 yes? If you have done that, you did the exact task I gave you to do, and you have that thing in your hand right now, please go onto the chat box and type yes. Let me see how many yeses we have. Okay, fantastic. Now, what you have just done is vision accomplishment. You have accomplished the vision. It's very, very simple, right? This activity is proof that you have the capacity to see a vision and to execute the vision. That's what you have just done, right? That a lot of people just think, you know, people have taught all kinds of things about leadership and vision over the years, and they've scattered people's brain, confused them. So you will hear some people say to you, you know, vision is God-given, ambition is selfish. It's all gouache. The word ambition has its root cause in to solicit for votes and to convince. So ambition and vision are not opposites. Ambition and vision are complementary. You cannot run a vision without an ambition. So don't let anybody mess up your brain and teach you nonsense and tell you things that doesn't really add up, right? So they'll tell you, you know, if you are not godly, God cannot give you a vision. Now, their definition of godliness is very, very funny and narrow-minded. And you know across the globe that even the employer you work for right now, he cannot pass the test of what they call godly, yet he was able to capture enough vision to be able to create something that has gone across the globe and from which you were not even there when it started, but you are there right now and you are drawing salaries and you're finding expression. So if you can close your eyes, visualize, see how far your vision can go, right? That is the dreaming part of it. But vision is not vision until you arise from your dreaming and begin to put steps in place to go get it. So when I ask you to close your eyes, you were visualizing. Then when I ask you to open your eyes, step up and go pick it, that is vision accomplishment. Now, so what is vision? Now, you see, dispensable leaders, they see the things that you are not aware of, the you that you are not aware of, and they push you into becoming that you. People say to me that I'm a tax master because I'm going to push you to outdo yourself. Really, that's my call. I will push you to outdo yourself because I can't stand mediocrity. When I see a human being with a brain doing things beneath what he's supposed to do, it irritates me. And when I see human beings who have the capacity to produce more, running around from pillar to post, from mountain to mountain, thinking that the demons are after them, devil is after them, you know, it irritates me because you have just turned yourself into a project for others to profit from. Now, I am not saying don't go pray. I pray. Go pray for ideas, pray for stuff, pray for innovation, you know, but don't turn yourself into a needy person who is now a problem and embarrassment to yourself, and you are thinking somebody is responsible for your life when the person doesn't even send you. What is vision? I have 3 definitions I came up with. Now, again, they are not the definitions that you find in textbooks. These are my definitions, product of my research and observation. I have defined vision as the ability to clearly capture the picture of a desirable future and clearly articulate it in order to attract and mobilize the required resource to make it a reality, thereby making everyone and our world better. I'll take that again. Vision is the ability to clearly capture the picture of a desirable future or desired future and clearly articulate it in order to attract and mobilize the required resources, which includes human and material, to make it a reality, thereby making everyone in our world better. That was the activity you just did right now. So it means if you say you want to catch a vision or you want to be a visionary leader, you need to clearly capture the picture of the future that you desire. So you sit here and you look into the future, or you pass by a bushy area and you take a second look at it and you can see an estate there, right? But it's not just seeing an estate there. That's not where you stop, because you are not the only person seeing what you are seeing. You know, the mistake many people make is to think that they are very exclusive and supernatural, that everything God is telling you, you are the only one God is telling. It's not true. God puts ideas on a frequency. He responds to the fastest finger. I'm sure you have had a situation in your life before where you had an idea and you kept it. You thought you were the only one God was talking to. Then all suddenly you turn on the TV and somebody else has done it. If that has happened to you before, can you type I? Can you type I? Let's see and confirm this. Because there is nothing about you that is so special. God puts it on the frequency. If you like, respond to it. Okay, good. I have people here. If you like, don't respond to it. While you are messing up, somebody else is warming up and somebody else is going to make it into a reality. So the concept of phone, the concept of smart houses, some of us caught that vision, but you did nothing about it. Vision is not vision until you are able to clearly articulate it and move in the direction of action. So you need to move beyond what you think, what you visualize, because it's like you have taken a picture. You remember cameras of those days. Cameras of those days, you take what is called negative. Then you watch the negative. It now becomes the real picture, right? As long as it remains negative, you can't use it for anything, really. You cannot display negative now and say, you know what, this is the, you put negative in your album. You know you are fooling yourself. So the capacity to transform negative into colored picture, that is vision. So you need to clearly articulate it. So when you ask me, what is your vision? They can't clearly articulate it. Your vision must be visible. It must be realistic. We must be able to draw it. You must be able to paint the picture. That is why when we come here and we cast the vision of House of Saviors, we are not just talking. We know our people are going to be indispensable everywhere they go. We know they'll become solution providers, and we are making moves into making it a reality. So you don't just capture it, you articulate it, you attract and mobilize the required resource. So the capacity to bring people into the vision and bring materials into the vision, into making it a reality. Ultimately, if your vision does not make people better and it doesn't make our world better, is a bad vision. If your vision only makes you rich and it makes everyone around you poor, it's not a good vision. If your vision is about you, your family, they take over, you take over, they take over, you take over. All of you are flying, traveling, driving cars, and everyone around you is flat, broke, and they don't even know who they are. That's not a good vision. That is self-centered, and that is about you. The second definition, I said the vision is the capacity to turn a faint mental image into a real visual image in a way that others find their vision within the vision in service to God and humanity. And that's why I must say that not all of us can start a big company. Some of us will work within a big company and find the expression of our vision within the big company. That's why I always say that there are two types of vision. You have the entrepreneurial vision, which is a vision that exists outside the present establishment you are in. You are in there, but you are seeing something bigger. You are seeing something different. Every time you are suggesting things to your bosses, suggesting things to the people where you work, and they are not listening to you, it's proof that there is something in you that you can create, right? So for entrepreneurial vision, you need to leave that place to go set up your own without fighting the people. Now, for entrepreneurial vision, are the visions that you achieve within an organization. You know yourself. You know you are not very good with building systems and processes. So what you do is you can pitch a new product within an organization and ask for equity and say, you know what, I'm going to create this line still within this organization, but I want 40%, I want 60%. The organization can take 40%, but this will be me within this organization. I want to function. Now, the problem with that is many overall head of organization are too insecure to allow other people find expression within their vision. That's why you see proliferation of churches, proliferation of organization, mushroom organizations opening up that dies within the first 5 years, simply because they cannot find expression as branches within an established system. Now, so it is the capacity to turn a faint mental image into a real visual image, right? In a way that others find their vision within the vision in service to God and humanity. If people who are around you are not finding vision within the vision, they are not finding themselves within that vision, something is wrong. So whatever you are committed to, that you say, I'm part of this vision, that you are not finding yourself, that you are just a slave being used perpetually, and you can't point at something that has changed drastically about you and your life has become better, you need to check it again, right? Because there are several visions that has enslaved people and people do not know. Especially once you hear a vision talk about God, that's the easiest vision that can enslave people, simply because people just think, oh, I'm doing it for God. Meanwhile, they may not be doing it for God. Now, number 3, the ability to turn a mental reality into visual reality, thereby inspiring others to make their virtual into visual through systems engagement and human resource mobilization. I'll take that again. Vision is the ability to turn a mental reality, so what is inside of you that nobody knows, nobody can see, into visual reality. So you bring within to without, and when you bring it out, it shows others possibilities. That's why we say a candle loses nothing by lighting other candles. In your light, we will see light. That when your light begins to shine, others now see the praise, ordinary praise, doing extraordinary things. They are motivated to know that they also have the capacity to do the same. That's why when people come to us as leaders, we must point them to their greatness, not point them at you. Point them away from you. Point them to their greatness, the power that is within them to become the best they can be. I have had people who have come to me, for mentoring. I could talk them into serving me for free, but what I often do is to point them to themselves, especially when I realize that they have the capacity to run an independent organization, right? So it's the ability to turn a mental reality into visual reality, thereby inspiring others to make their own virtual into visual through systems engagement and human resource mobilization. Now, if you are still with me, can you type yes? If you're still with me, can you type yes? Right? Or if you understand me to this point, can you type yes? If you don't understand me, right, can you type no? Let me see. Okay, so it means I'm a good teacher. You guys are good students and you are good leaders. Okay, so we are together. Now, let me move a little bit further in this discussion for you to understand that, you see, vision is literally being impregnated, right? It's like carrying a pregnancy. At the point of conception, nobody knows that you are pregnant, but you know when you miss your period that you're pregnant. In fact, you can be jumping, playing. In fact, you can still be having sex up and down and you are pregnant and you don't know. Vision is you are literally impregnated the moment you capture an authentic vision. And that pregnancy places a demand on you that change your life forever. The big problem is some of you are capturing a vision, but you are remaining with your old friends and your old people. And that's why it seems you are not moving forward, that they are discouraging you. If you have the right vision with the wrong people, your vision can be aborted. And many visions have been terminated by being in the wrong setup, where people talk to you and make you believe that you can't do it, something cannot happen. Every time people tell you something cannot happen because of their experience, they are not speaking badly to you. Maybe they want to hold you bound, or because they've not seen what you want to create before. So you are the one that understands your pregnancy. Vision is like pregnancy. It places a demand on you, and that demand has a capacity to change your life forever. Now you either submit to the demands of your pregnancy, which is your vision, or you stand the risk of aborting that pregnancy. My prayer today is that may you not abort your pregnancy by yourself, because out of emotion, out of the wrong diet, many of you have aborted your pregnancy. You now look very small when you are actually global. You are now, a slave somewhere, being talked to, molested, anyhow, when you are a high flyer, simply because you do not understand the demands of your pregnancy. Okay, so how many pregnant people do I have in here? Before I go to the next slide, how many pregnant people do I have in here? You know you have a vision within you. That means you are pregnant. Can you type I? If you are a pregnant person in this meeting, can you type I? Okay, good. We have a lot of pregnant people here. Oh, good. So a lot of children are going to be birthed. I'm so excited. That's the hallmark of House of Saviors. We have pregnant people, top class people in here. Now, there are a couple of things you need to understand about pregnancy, especially when you are a visionary. Now, and you need to understand that these are not emotional quotation or emotional messages. These are decision-making points in your life that will determine whether you abort your pregnancy or you give birth to your pregnancy. Number one, vision determines your diet. A pregnant woman does not eat anything. Many years ago, I was working with Dr. Miles Monroe. I used to run after him anytime he's in Nigeria. I will follow him everywhere he's going. And one day we were talking and he looked back and he said to me, he said, Ola. Now, Dr. Miles does not like, if you have an English name, he will never call you by your English name. He will look for your traditional name. So I have a name that is Ola Dimeji. So Dr. Miles calls me Ola. Then he looks at me and says, Ola, you know what I'm going to do to you? I will so feed you that your appetite will become so large that not everyone will be able to feed you after now. Now, what he was saying is, I'm going to stretch you in a way that you will be able to spot ignorance, that only top leaders will be able to make sense to you. Now, let me tell you what happened. Dr. Miles did that successfully because he put a lot of demand on me that by the time he passed on, I was there when he passed on, I was right there in the Bahamas waiting for him. We're supposed to have dinner that day when the plane crashed and he passed on. Now, Dr. Miles had stretched me. And you know the human mind, when you stretch it, it does not return to its original state. So when I tell people I can finish 2 books in a day, there was a year I was finishing two books every day. There was a year, now I finish 1 book every day. There's a book I read every day. I finish it every day, right? When I tell people I do that, when I told people for every day, I was creating 2 new content every day, top class content, taking stock around the world, taking a tour around family life across different nations of the world. Your pregnancy defines your diet. There are things I know that I was not taught in school. I want to be number 1 in family life innovation in the world. That is where I want to be, right? I don't want to be, one of the foot soldiers. I want to be in the room where decisions about family life globally are being taken, and I must be able to make a presentation that represents my people without people looking down on them. Now I'm saying to my colleagues, you want us to take your certification program. When are you going to start taking our own certification program so that you can understand us? Vision determines your diet. Who are the people that are feeding you? If your vision is to build a top class company, or your vision is to build a top tech company, and you are listening to people who are teaching you about seven types of demons that exist, 7 ways that demons operate, you will abort your vision, because there are pregnancies you have that you do not need fear at all. Where I am right now, I don't need any message, anything that brings fear into me. Your diet are the things you feed on, the materials you read, the people you allow to speak into your life. I am not emotional about the people, the diet I take. I take the diet that my pregnancy requires, and I'm not going to negotiate it for anything. I have only 1 life to live. I'm not going to allow you mess it up, and I don't want to blame someone else for my life or for my outcome. So pregnancy determines your diet. What diet do you feed yourself with? Do you think what you are eating every day can take you to where you want to go to? Do you think the people you're listening to every day can take you to where you want to go to? In fact, some of you, the vision you are having is bigger than your mentor's vision, which means you need to appoint new mentors and begin to feed yourself. If anybody says to you, just be listening to me alone, don't listen to anybody else, that person has captured you and that person is likely going to kill you, because you will not be balanced in your diet. You need to know something about everything that surrounds the value chain of your pregnancy. Okay, are you still here? Right. Some of you are malnourished. You are suffering from kwashiorkor, right? You have a great vision, but what you are feeding yourself with is too shallow, is too weak. It cannot make the baby strong. So when you give back to the baby look kwashiorkor. It can only be acceptable within a day, or it can only have it's only bad on people that can buy it. Meanwhile, that baby is supposed to be a global baby, but because he has been malnourished, it now looks like it's struggling. Number two, your pregnancy determines your association. Your association talks about your super synergy, your peer synergy, and your sub synergy. Super synergy are the people above you. They are mentors. Peer synergy are your colleagues. Sub synergies are the people who look up to you, your mentees. Now, your pregnancy should determine who you relate with. Many of you are relating with old friends that are not going in the direction of where you're going. They are still acquaintances or friends, but they are not going where you want to go, but you are stuck with them. Even there is a Yoruba that says 20 children must not work together for 20 years. Some of you have 30 friends, 30 broke people working with themselves, complaining among themselves, grumbling about, oh boy, life is tough. He reached your side too. He reached my side too. It's also tough here. So after talking that life is tough, all of you, what are you going to do? Right? So you gather to console yourself. So vision must determine your association. The moment you sense that your pregnancy is great, start writing letters to people that live in that future. Start looking for how to serve them. That is what I do all the time. I will look for how to serve you, the value I can add to you. There are times I will buy a pack of handkerchiefs and I will supply to them every month, right? There is a time there are people I wanted to meet. I will write an encouragement message to them 7 a.m. every day for 3 months non-stop. By the third month, I will now stop for 1 day. When I stop for 1 day and I don't send that encouragement message, they usually call me to say, young man, what's happened? I didn't get your message today, right? And they'll say, okay, come and see me. I know you want to get my attention. I will do everything possible to get into the hands that can take me to the next level, right? I am so shameless about it. So you see, people will talk and say, you are just behaving like a slave. Excuse me, whatever rules of engagement will take me to where I want to go, I'm willing to pay that price. Your pregnancy determines your routine and ritual, which means it determines your discipline. You cannot be pregnant and be going to get drunk in a bar. You cannot be pregnant and they are finding you everywhere. Visionary people are not found everywhere. That's why you don't see them in your party, your birthday party. That's why you don't see them in your chat box. If they are there, they are quiet. You don't see them in your WhatsApp group. They don't contribute to funny things, right? So your routine and ritual. Show me your pregnancy or show me your routine and I'll tell you your pregnancy. Many people are not disciplined with their routine and ritual, yet they want to go far. It's not possible. It is not possible. You sleep the way everybody sleeps. You eat what they eat. You drink what they drink. And you think that you're going to achieve your vision. Never. You are not willing to make sacrifices. Every little car that comes out, you want to buy. Every little shoe you want to buy. Every little bag you want to buy. No delayed gratification. My friend, you are not going anywhere. Pregnancy determines your routine and ritual. People will abuse you. They will say you look broke. You look this, you look that. It is every vision speaks at the end. Write the vision down, make it plain. It speaks at the end, not now. He that endures till the end will be saved. So your vision determines your routine, your ritual. Now, I help people plan their routine and ritual once I see their vision, because your routine is not what you like. Your routine is what can deliver your vision. Let me tell you, if I want to develop 6 packs, let me tell you the routine I like. The routine I love is to sit in my room, stretch my leg on my bed and just pray to God. God, I receive 6 pack from you. That is what I love. As long as I do that, six-pack will be far from me because it is no respecter of what I love. Six-pack only respects what I need to do. Many of you have a great vision, but you are doing what you love to do, not what you need to do. The moment I realized what I needed to do, my morning routine changed from what it used to be. What they call quiet time changed for me. It became a developmental time where I listen to people at the level I want to be. It changed everything. My meditation changed. I had to go learn how to do meditation. Routine and ritual. Number 4, your diet and your pregnancy determines your beliefs. Some of you have great vision. Your beliefs are faulty. You want to go to Mars and build a real estate there, but your vision, your beliefs is that, they want to kill me. As long as you have that belief, or your belief is, I don't have a degree. Who cares about your degree? Many people ruling the world today don't have a degree. Yet, they were not able to stop themselves. Many of you are the ones defeating yourself. You are limited in your thinking. What has degree got to do with your capacity to become all you can be? So your pregnancy determines your belief. Your pregnancy determines the systems you build. If you don't build the right system around you as a pregnant person, if you don't surround yourself with the right midwives, with experienced people who understand what it means to carry the kind of pregnancy you're carrying, you will abort it. It determines your level of provision. Vision, provision means for vision. It's a combination of two words, pro plus vision. So inside your vision is where your wealth lies, right? And wealth is not just in monetary terms. Wealth is also in people development, the number of people you have raised, right? Your vision, what determines the level of focus. Focus creates blindness. You are pregnant, but you know about Big Brother. You want to sleep with this person. You want to sleep with that person. You want to drink what they are drinking. You lack focus. Your pregnancy is going to come down. If your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. Let me tell you, I don't know everything on this planet. If you ask me about engineering, I don't know it. If you ask me about medical science, maybe I know a little to keep me healthy. But if you ask me about family life, I can analyze. If you ask me about human engineering programming, human behavioral transformation, I will show you my own model and I know it works. But if you ask me about aeronautics engineering, I don't know. And I don't need to know. I only need to know everything about my field. And once I become top in my field, you will listen to me. But many of you lack focus. What is occupying 60% of your time has nothing to do with your pregnancy. You have a vision in your heart, but you are spending less time on that vision. You are spending 80% on someone else's vision. Oh, we go for that meeting. I'm in that unit. I'm in this thing. You are just everywhere except for your vision. And when you don't take care of that vision, the vision will be terminated. Now, you see, Ellen Keller was a blind woman who wrote a lot of songs. So they asked her, what is worse than being blind? And she said, it's having a sight without vision. Blindness is not when your eyes cannot see or when you can't see visually. True blindness is when you lack a vision for your life. So every time in Nigeria that you see the people they call Bambiala, right? You know the Bambialas, you know them, right? Every time you see them, you notice that there's also a Bambiala boy that follows them. Now, the moment you don't have a vision, you are like a Bambiala, you are blind. Now, there are effects of being blind. Number one, if you are blind, you will be dependent on someone else for the rest of your life because you lack clarity about where you want to go. So it's so easy because you can't even help yourself. So you will need people to take you around. When you don't have a vision as a leader, other people will deploy you. Number two, when you are blind, it's so easy to deceive you. So if you are a blind man and you say to me, Praise, take me to New York, and I take you to Minnesota, you will not know the difference. Why? Because you cannot see. So it's so easy to deceive you. If you say, buy me a Toyota Camry 2013, and I buy you Toyota 2020, you don't know the difference. You are blind. So when you lack a vision, it's so easy to deceive you. People can deceive you and tell you there are 99 demons pursuing you. And to cast out those 99 demons, every demon is 1 million naira. You will find it. Why? Because you have no vision. Without a vision, you are helpless. How can you even help others when you are helpless? So blind people are helpless. If you have no vision, you are blind, you are incapacitated, which means you have no capacity for a lot of things. So we want to run Olympics, you can't run Olympics. We say we want to play basketball for Nigeria, you can't run it. Say let us watch Nigeria playing, you can't watch. You are incapacitated. A blind man is oftentimes ignorant of so many things going on around him. He can marry a wife, but he can't see his wife. Somebody else can be sleeping with his wife for him, he won't know. His wife can even be pregnant for someone else and he won't know, right? Lack of vision makes you ignorant. Poverty is another thing that happens when you have no vision, because you notice that every time you want to give to a beggar on the road, you do not give them the highest denomination. You give them what is sufficient, what you can part with, like 5 naira or $1 or $5 or something like that. You don't give them, if you're in Nigeria, $1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000. Why? And that is why when you don't have a vision, what will be coming to you will never be sufficient for you. Without a vision, you are frustrated and pitiable. If you pray for a blind man's son, may you become like your father, he will not say amen, because that prayer becomes a curse. He doesn't want to become like his father, right? Do you know the frustration of the blind man getting married and he doesn't know what his wife looks like? He gives birth to a child, he doesn't know what the child looks like. People without a vision are frustrated and they look pitiable. Now, but what happens when your eyes open? Because what do you see ahead of you? It's been said, eyes that look are common, but the eyes that see are very rare. Eyes that looks are common, eyes that see are very rare. What are the things that happen when you can see? The moment you catch a vision for your life, the first thing that happens is self-awareness. You now see yourself the way you are. Many of you are not who you should be right now. You are bigger than the you I am talking to right now. I was writing an article about relocation last week, and somebody says, a lion cannot become, a millipede cannot become a lion. A millipede in Nigeria cannot become a lion in America. And I said, no, that is not totally correct. Because Nigeria can be the place that has reduced its lion to millipede, right? That America is now exposing him to the fact that he's a lion. And the person said he's never thought about it that way. Because environment can shrink your greatness without you knowing. It can make you be comfortable with mediocrity, right? Because you have to pay for a house 1 year, but somewhere else you have to pay every month. And your landlord is not going to tolerate things went bad. I'm sorry, I can't make payment. So it stretches you. So self-awareness, vision makes you see yourself that I am bigger than here. I was in Ajegunle. I saw myself, the greatness I had ahead of me. But I was in Ajegunle. I had one small room. I would sit there and I would tell my friend, as I'm drinking this Gary, I am drinking continental Gary. I'll put kuli, I'll call it kulips. By the way, I bought kuli a year last week. I saw it somewhere. I call it kulips. I say it's not kuli, it's kulips, right? I will talk about the future to them. There was nothing inside, but there was something I was saying. I knew I was in Ajegunle, but I was not of Ajegunle. So you need to know that when you catch a vision, the first thing is you see yourself for who you are. Number two, you now see your environmental awareness. That the people you are flocking with are not the people you should be around. That you are bigger than where you are. It doesn't mean you hate them. It simply means you are taking a decision that promotes your wellness. Environmental, look at yourself right now. Who are your closest friends? What is their net worth? What do they talk about when they are with you? What do you guys discuss? Do you talk about a unicorn business? Do you talk about business plan? When they see opportunity, do they bring you in? Many of you are wrongly positioned with the wrong set of friends. So your vision, look at your vision again. Look at the people you have surrounded yourself with and ask yourself, which of them carries this kind of pregnancy? Number three, the moment you see those two, the next thing that happens is you see your sense of destiny, which is your future. Your vision is actually your future. That is the reality about you. Then when you now see your future, that my future is I have my headquarters in New York, in Manhattan, but here I am in Ajegule. The next thing that happens is you become uncomfortable. Whatever you can tolerate, you will not change. The moment your vision is clear to you, wherever you are will no longer be able to contain you. It will be like your body is scratching you. Move away from here, move away from here, move away from here. You will become uncomfortable. Until you become uncomfortable about mediocrity, you will not change it to excellent. Until you become uncomfortable with ignorance that masquerades as knowledge, you will not change it. Until you are comfortable, they've given you a title, giving you a position, and you are feeling cool because you are better than other people, but you know it's still mediocrity. Until you are comfortable with that title, you will not change it. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who found treasure in his field, which means he discovered his vision and he went back to sell everything he owns to buy that field, which means he went to return the title. He went to drop the chieftaincy title. He went to drop the maybe it's doctorate right now, because it looks like doctorate is what every Nigeria is getting right now, honorary doctorates, and very soon everybody in Nigeria will have doctorate. It looks like that's what is trending right now, and I see that and I'm laughing, right? There are people who deserve it, but sometimes you just see all kinds of things, but whatever is happening, our people have a way of bastardizing it anyways, right? So you go and drop everything that they are put in you that you don't need to go and buy that field. The moment you become discomfort or uncomfortable, you now move from desire to aspiration. The distance between desire and aspiration is action. You now begin to take action for your life, which is strategic movement is the next thing. You now begin to master the process. In mastering the process, you will experience what looks like setback. Setback is not setback sometimes. Setback is a strategy for bouncing back. So progress is not forward movement all the time. If you have missed your way and you continue on the wrong route, you will still not land in the right destination. Progress sometimes is going back, right? So progress sometimes is failure. Failure is feedback that tells you have not mastered it. So you go back to master it. Strategic movement to successful delivery. And once you successfully deliver it, you craft new vision, because the reward for good work is more hard work. Life has a way of giving you more hard work for every good work you have done. So once you hear well done, that's why visionary people are never, ever people who settle. Now, I'm going to tidy this up today by saying to you that vision is what keeps dispensable leaders from competition. And the best test of a vision is who people become in the vision. Right? So if you have a vision and people cannot measure their growth, they cannot measure their development, they cannot measure their exposure, they cannot measure what they've learned, what they couldn't do before that they can now do as a result of the vision, then you have messed them up. If they are within a vision, they can't think, they can't make suggestions, they can't use their brain, they can't use initiative, then you have killed them. Right? And like I said, it can be entrepreneurial or entrepreneurial. Now, I'll show you a couple of samples of vision so that you know exactly what we're talking about. Now, you need to know that vision is not about your bigness, your largeness. Vision is about what you become to the people, how their lives become better by interacting with your vision. And that is why great leaders point you to yourself and not to themselves. They focus on the greatness. They are loyal to the vision and the system of the organization and not their personal agenda. So Apple says our vision is to challenge the status quo, to think differently. It's about people. Coca-Cola says the vision is to refresh the world and inspire moments of optimism and happiness. That when you drink Coke, you are optimistic and you are happy, right? There is nothing about we will sell the highest number of bottles. If you check the typical Nigerian vision of companies, we want to be the largest, the biggest. We want to be the foremost speaker, number one speaker. No, those are goals. A vision is about the people. Facebook says our vision is to give people the power to build community so that we can bring the world closer together. It's about people. Walmart says our vision is to build a better world, helping people live better and renew the planet while building thriving, resilient communities. Microsoft says we want to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. Harley Davidson says we want to fulfill the dreams of personal all-American freedom. Google says our vision is to organize the world's information and make it universally acceptable and accessible, right? Disney says to create happiness for people of all ages everywhere. Let me talk a little bit about this. When Disney began to shoot LGBT videos, some of you were offended. But look at their vision. Before you criticize any organization, check the vision. Their vision is to create happiness for people of all ages everywhere. They didn't say to create happiness for straight people or for heterosexual or for Christians or for Muslims. They say for people of all ages, and that includes straight, gay, homosexuals, everybody. Once you are people, that is what they're doing. So you can't beat them for trying to do. You can, however, say this thing they are doing does not align with my own, so I withdraw my children. Tesla says our vision is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. They didn't talk about Tesla car, Tesla batteries. No, they didn't talk about products. They talk about what the vision will do for people. Starbucks says our vision is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person and one cup at a time. So you can see all the charity they built around it is to achieve this vision. House of Savior says our vision is to raise influencers who will create innovative solutions that transform our world in service to God and humanity. We didn't say we want to be the largest community, the biggest community, the most impactful, the fastest growing. No. As long as we can raise influencers who can create innovative solutions, solution providers, who can transform our society everywhere they go in service to God and humanity, we're good. Right? And that's why we will not compete with what others are doing. We are on a journey. So this is how to craft a vision. A vision has got to be about the people. It cannot just be about products. You know, we want to sell 1,000 bottles. No. My vision in America, for example, one of the visions I have in the next 1 year is to help African Americans, people of African descent, collaborate with them to raise their children into indispensable heroes within the North American space and within the diaspora. That's what I'm doing. And that's why we created Ready for Life, basically, where we house people's children and we are teaching them the right curriculum that can help them become indispensable, right? So what is your vision? Go back and look at your vision. If your vision is to become the fastest, the largest, the fastest growing, blah, blah, blah. When you become that, what happens? There's a bank in Nigeria. They wanted to become number one in Nigeria. They became number one. What next? You can now see them service delivery has dropped. The people now dress anyhow. They now insult customers. Their services are breaking down. Why? Because there is no other place to go after they've gotten to that peak. My final question today is that what will your vision deliver to our world? So we're going to end the way we started. I want you to close your eyes again and dream. I want you to look into the future. What will you do that will transform the people and the world? I want you to dream, visualize it. Once you can see it, look into the sky. You can step out of where you are, look into the sky, and paste that vision on the sky. Make sure that you can see it as you look into the sky, as the vision spread across the sky. The earth will be filled with the knowledge of the Lord as the waters covers the sea. The earth will be filled with your vision. It's going to serve humanity as the waters covers the sea. Place it into the sky, that when you look into the sky, you see your vision. And it makes you smile because the beneficiaries of your vision, all of them are excited at what you have done, at what your vision has become to them. Look at it, dream it. See yourself becoming who you truly want to be, delivering that pregnancy. You become that leader that is making things happen for others. Hear people share testimonials of how your life has transformed their lives. Yeah, I know you want to see the monetary equivalent of that, but leave that for now. Money will follow vision naturally, but focus on people. How many people will your vision set free? How many people will find hope? In what nations of the world? How many people will read your books and their lives have been transformed? How many people are you feeding? I want you to paste it on the sky. Let it spread all over the sky. You're looking at it. You are excited at what you can see. Whatever you can see, I want you to begin to get into gratitude that I'm grateful for the ability to do this for humanity, for the ability to transform humanity and help people become better, for the ability to save our world from XYZ problem. Grateful for the capacity to warehouse children across the globe and give them a sense of direction. Grateful for the capacity to help parents better and preserve their children, bringing out the best value their children has within them. Grateful for that capacity. Grateful for every savior going into nations, transforming their spaces in service to God and humanity. Our people becoming formidable, indispensable everywhere they go, building businesses that are solving critical problems for our world. I am grateful. Now you can open your eyes. Okay, so that's where we'll stop today. Next week, we will pick the third trait of a dispensable leader. But how has it been for you today? Right? If you have any question, you can raise your hand. If you have any question, you can raise your hand and I'll answer your question. But how has it been? You can type your, how do you feel about the session? You can type it in there. We're going to close a bit early today so that you guys can rest. Thank you very much. Okay, explosive. You need to go to the YouTube page and listen to this over and over and over and over again, right? So go to our YouTube page and listen to this recording over. It's always available there. Right? So you go there on YouTube, it's there. Listen to it over and over and take action steps. Take action steps. Take action steps that will help you. Okay, so we tidy up the meeting today. Basically, you know, our usual announcement.